come to the bold analysis. The push by the Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni for the party to field candidate Jacob Ireri in Mbeere North by-election is selfish, and clearly this is not the position of the party leader, and we are a bit convinced that Jeremiah Kioni is actually a state machinery. Watch this podcast to the end. I have spoken with my sources within the Jubilee Party, and I'm going to give you a position of what the party leader is saying on this by-election. So kindly subscribe to our channel. But first, before I get into those details, I am back to you guys, standing in the gap for these 4 students. And I'm rallying you guys that in this month of September, let us support these 4 students who are stranded. 2 of them, the first 2, Mercy and the gentleman, are supposed to be, the gentleman is supposed to be in KMTC, but is stranded because of school fees, semester 2. And the other lady and the other gentleman are supposed to be, one in Kisumu Polytechnic and the other one in Sigalagala. They're all stranded because of school fees. And things have not been easy about it. One thing that has really captured our attention on it is the fact that they passed. They were supposed to join university, but that was not possible. Remember, the funding model really brought in a lot of challenges. So they were not able to join the university, and that's now we opted that we can support them, at least do something in the TVET. And the girl down there is studying in Runyenjes. She's still in high school. That girl, baba yake alikufa kwa ajali ya barabara Sagana. So when we were building a house in Embu for Faith, I remember we've done a couple of projects za kujenga. So when we were in Embu for Faith, that's when the mother approached us. And we took their number, and the girl is also stranded, is supposed to go to school. Education is a pillar. I know we've done several projects. Tumejenga Njoro, tumejenga Embu, tumejenga Kakamega, and we've done a lot. But in this month, I was just asking guys, we stand in the gap. Our plan is by my Monday, and I've promised them that by Monday, we will take them to school. Now, as I talk to you, I started this appeal yesterday. As I talk to you, I already have 37,000. And I want to say thank you for those who've responded. Kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. Usione ni kidogo. Let us just try what you can send. And I want to believe for us to sort the 4 of them, we need around 300,000. So from 37, we have a deficit around 263 to jaribu tu. What we can be able to do that by Monday, we help them na waweze kurudi shule, and we partake of those blessings. I would want us at this point to look at a factor here. Immediately after Rigathi Gachagua withdrew his candidate, Duncan Boy, from the Mbeere North by-election in favor of a Democratic Party candidate, Newton Karish, the State House was back to drawing board. Remember, they never believed that at one time, Rigathi Gachagua, who left US to come back in the country for these by-elections, would actually shelve the ambitions of fielding a candidate in that area. No one ever believed that Rigathi was going to make that move. So when Rigathi withdrew Duncan Boy, the State House was back to drawing board because the race was shaped between Newton Karish, who is the Democratic Party candidate, and Laurent Madenge, someone there, who is the UDA candidate. And I think they're so keen that a 2-horse race is not going to favor the state. But I must also tell you this, that Rigathi not only withdrew the bid in Mbeere North, but even the candidate in Malava, they also withdrew. So two things happened after that. And I think William Ruto hired Moses Kuria to revive that is Chama cha KANU party, and it presented the candidature of Duncan Boy. So that, and the thinking is that the Duncan Boy, being that he was a DCP candidate, he was actually going to eat into the opposition voters, and of course his disgruntled supporters are going to back him on Chama cha Kazi. And you could see that poster. Apart from that, the second plan that was hatched is from Jeremiah Kioni axis in Jubilee Party to push for the Jubilee Party to field a candidate in the name of James Jacob Ireri. And look at this poster. So this gentleman, even this poster was done yesterday, and it really caused a little bit of discomfort within the opposition wing, that whether Uhuru Kenyatta was now going to field a candidate. But that was not it. And in fact, sadly, they even brought in the photo of Uhuru, and they brought in Uhuru and Matiang'i. So I looked at that and I could see clearly it was a scheme, or rather that poster in itself was in a bad taste. Does it mean it was to mean that Matiang'i is with Uhuru Kenyatta and is not with the rest? Is Matiang'i in a coalition with Uhuru Kenyatta, the two of them? No, Matiang'i is fully in the United Opposition Coalition. So this poster was done on Thursday evening. And I actually called a very close friend within the Jubilee Party. He's a very good subscriber of this channel. And I called what exactly was actually their position on presenting the bid, because there's a little bit of confusion on what was their way forward. And without hesitation, Pauline Njoroge, who is the Deputy Organizing Secretary, gave a statement that we want all of us to look at here. Because this statement from Pauline Njoroge was long overdue. And they actually gave the clarification of what Uhuru Kenyatta is saying. Look at this. As the deputy, and he's saying, as the Deputy Organizing Secretary of the Jubilee Party, I wish to set the record straight. The National Executive Council (NEC), which is chaired by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, has not issued nomination papers to any aspirant for the Mbeere North parliamentary by-election. The Jubilee Party will not be fielding a candidate in this race. Instead, we will stand firmly behind the joint opposition candidate, take this to the nearest bank, and treat all other claims as pure hearsay. He read this post. And this is what Uhuru Kenyatta is saying. He's not going to field a candidate. Now, I see after that, if you check the comment section, people were actually attacking, state mandarins were attacking Pauline Njoroge, and she actually believes that all that was choreographed, or rather was being pushed from some specific quarter of the party. And she said, I see that an attack has been unleashed against me from certain quarters. I said what I said. Jubilee Party will not field a candidate in Mbeere North. We stand firmly in support of the joint opposition candidate. It is unfortunate that a few individuals, driven by selfish agendas, are attempting to undermine the unity of the opposition. One wonders under whose authority they are speaking, because it is certainly not on the behalf of the party leader. In due course, the truth of what I have said will be evident to all. I repeat, Jubilee Party will not field a candidate in Mbeere North. Do you want to believe Jeremiah Kioni, or you want to believe Pauline Njoroge. I'm convinced Kioni is an extension of President Ruto and could be on the state payroll to do all this divide and rule gimmick. My sources within the party say that the candidate Jacob Ireri, if you check, has never stepped into party headquarters. In fact, no one knows that candidate. No one knows that candidate. Number two, that if you check his campaigns, like he was never given any nod to start even campaigning on behalf to be vying through the Jubilee Party. And it's indeed true that Uhuru Kenyatta has issued firm directions that they are not going to field a candidate in Mbeere North. And I think I salute that. And I'll explain to you why Uhuru Kenyatta did the best thing. You know, I normally say this, and I will always repeat. Uhuru is a gentle politician. And I think at this point, what is at best? What is the best? The country is asking questions. And there is a discussion as to whether you're one term or two term. Is it the time to come jump and say, I want to block what is there? And the chairman of the party has been part of the Azimio of the United Opposition meetings. There are two reasons why Jeremiah Kioni is pushing for Jubilee to present a candidate. Number one, if Jubilee will have a candidate, it will bring a loophole, or it will get a ground, he will get a ground to misuse party resources. Do you know, yes, that quite significant of Jubilee party resources have been spent against the regulations that are there. And this is one of those activities that Jeremiah Kioni wants to happen so that he can find a way kwenda kwa ground and print t-shirts and there and just play political gimmicks. And that is why I repeat, the candidature of the Jubilee candidate there by Kioni is not in a good taste. Number two, Kioni is looking for a political forum to attack the opposition. Maybe that will boost his paycheck. And I think at this point, it is you rather put up your position, you rather leave that party and join the UDA and become probably, they're also looking for a secretary general. The secretary general, I'm told, is yet to resign. And that is not it. So that is why Jeremiah Kioni wants the candidate. But on the other side, Jubilee candidature works straight into the trap of President Ruto and the NIS. Why? If Jubilee presents a candidate, the messaging, the contest might be framed to be an Uhuru-Ruto contest. And that will give them an impetus, or that will give them an opportunity to say that Uhuru Kenyatta does not support, or Uhuru Kenyatta is interfering with President Ruto. And that is also cleanly what President Ruto do not want is a situation where probably he is lost to Gachagua. He's lost to Gachagua because that will be, you know, politics is about perception. That will be a huge confirmation of the huge perception that Rigathi Gachagua has already chased him from Mount Kenya. Number two, NIS would have many candidates because the more the candidates are, it will open loophole for vote manipulation. That by-election will have a low turnout. So if there are so many candidates, any sort of manipulation will be to divide those votes and get their way. Remember, they have so many, and they will have so many other candidates, and they will actually support opponents. Even fund that Jubilee candidate. You never know. Because Jubilee Party is not going to fund that person. And they've said they will not. So they're a bit careful because at this point, even the state can fund the other candidates so that they will face a very stiff competition, and then money becomes the agent. Someone was telling me the reason why you see delegations are going to State House and people are being given money is this. The 2027 election, the state wants it to be won on who has a lot of money. Not who has the plan the president is talking about. Not who has the scorecard is talking about. No, it's about who has the money. And that's where they are pouring a lot of money. And of course, it's an opportunity for the mandarins to play political propaganda that Uhuru Kenyatta is not supporting the opposition. But I salute the move for Jubilee Party to bolt out. There is absolutely no reason for Uhuru Kenyatta to get himself in that by-election. This is why that is important. That is going to send a clear message, and that line needs to be drawn. It's going to draw the line clearly, and as they have said, that we actually stand with the united opposition. And also clearly, what will be the reason of fielding a candidate with a 90% possibility of losing? So Jubilee to present a candidate lose, then say Jubilee has lost grip in Mount Kenya. Or what will be it? Is someone expecting, will someone then, the MP can be there, the candidate can be there, be given money and say, I won't say that Uhuru Kenyatta gave you money and run propaganda. And I think Kenyatta has also decided to completely sit out of campaign active politics and probably will resort more to boardroom politics. And that's why we're really paying attention to the NDC that is supposed to be held on 26th of September. And I believe that really Kioni does not mean well for that party. Thank you.